Because what we're dealing with is poverty and oppression. And when you're a person who's homeless or a person with a disability, everywhere you go, you're looked at as pitiful, sorry, helpless, and that kind of thing. Pretty soon, I get it. People, oh, you poor guy. Pretty soon, you start to internalize that oppression because you're immersed in a culture of dependency. You start to believe it. I am helpless, hopeless, sorry, pitiful. So what we work to do, we're an independent living center. We work to empower people by developing self-advocacy skills, independent living skills, and the model that we use, we call it person-centered planning. You lay out what's your goal, what do you need to get there, what are the resources that are available, and who's going to do what by when. And you got to plan. Okay, medical model does this. It says, diagnoses you with what's wrong and prescribes you what you need. Our model it's similar to what's been described here earlier. What do you need? And here's the supports that are available. Let's choose some options to develop a plan for independent living. Now, the oppression thing, a lot of people who are homeless, access to health care. Well, do I really want to walk into a clinic and get my mental illness label today? I don't know. That's a little bit daunting. So I was with a group, Getting Ahead group, Bridges Out of Poverty, and a lot of talk about, gosh, it's tough. It's tough to get out when you got all this institutional oppression on you, and we got into details, and I sat there and I thought to myself, and I shared with the group, I said, it's the people up there on top of the world trying to fill that empty hole with material goods and fame and fortune and stuff that really don't have an opportunity to share what we have in this room today, which is coming together, sharing common experience and common struggle to build strength and community. And when you get that kind of thing rolling, people get together, and that's when housing first works, because that's when people are taking control of the opportunities that are presented. I don't know, but maybe I'm a little hard-headed, but I don't want somebody to come along and tell me what I need and then giving it to me. It just doesn't feel comfortable. So, and that's not to say that the model that Tim described isn't important. I have certain programs where you want to do this program, that's how it's set up. You want to live in this apartment that we rent from Boulder Housing Partners, then you're going to agree to come in and work on independent living skills with us, budgeting, bill paying, cooking, whatever it is. We got this independent living skills program, and we're going to work on it, if that's what you want. If you don't, you can get on the waiting list, or whatever. But there's times when, you can't pigeonhole people. You got to work with everybody as an individual. That's why that person-centered planning model works pretty decently, because what is your goal? Is it housing? Well, when you start getting into the details, it becomes apparent that the things that are needed to make that work, but it's allowing the person to own that, to say, I need to do something to get my, so I'm not self-medicating with alcohol for my mental illness or my physical disabilities. I need to get access to health care. Okay, how can we do that? Well, folks, who's got some ideas? How can we get access to health care? Who knows what's what out in the community? So we try to facilitate those conversations to develop those resources. And even if the person isn't in a position to articulate exactly what the goals are, we still do it because the person's sitting there feeling supported by a support circle who's there to support them to reach goals. They're not being further oppressed by folks who are doing it for them and making you feel like, again, helpless and hopeless and can't make any decision, don't control over my life. It gets, yeah. Like I said, our independent living model embraces the idea that people should be able to choose and direct their own supports, and people should, then we're not robbing folks of that sense of accomplishment. If I'm going to sit there and do it for you, I just took away all your pride for having done it with me.
That's what I was
and I've told people many times, you expect me to do it for you, it ain't going to happen. You want to work with me, we'll get there together.